Good morning, my dear students. Welcome to the chemistry class. And today I will continue the chapter language of chemistry. Last day we have discussed the condition of chemical reactions, and today we will start from the characteristics of chemical reaction. First we will discuss the color. Okay, actually chemical reactions are characterized by certain changes, okay, that we can easily observe by our eyes. Okay, first we can observe there is change of color. Change of color. There are different types of reactions are there where you will observe the change of color. Okay, if you take a iron nail, okay, iron nail, and if you add to copper sulfate solution, that is blue in color, then what will happen? There will be formation of ferrous sulfate, that will be the green in color. The green solution will be formed, okay, and precipitation of reddish brown type of solid, that is copper. Copper will be precipitate. Actually here iron is more active and it is displacing the less reactive copper metal and forming ferrous sulfate and copper. So from the change of the color we can easily understand, and there is some chemical reaction. Hope you can understand. Next, in your book one activity is there. If you take some sugar, okay, crystal, and in a porcelain disc, okay, suppose this one is porcelain disc, and here if you are taking some crystals of sugar, suppose here you are taking some crystals of sugar, and here if you apply heat, then what will happen? The sugar, okay, will turn into black color. Okay, actually first sugar will melt, slowly it will become brown, and finally when you are heating too much, okay, then there will be water molecule will evaporate as well as whole residue, okay, or you will get a black residue, okay, and that means it is forming some sugar charcoal, okay, and because of this sugar charcoal, okay, its colors become black, and in this case also you will get some water vapors, okay, so definitely sugar crystals are colorless and you are getting black color. So this is also a color change reaction. Hope you can understand. There is evolution of water vapor, okay, and this type of color change you will observe, okay, when you will do some chemical reactions. Suppose if you take copper sulfate solution and if you add sodium hydroxide, then what will happen? That there will be formation of blue precipitation of copper hydroxide. Okay, so definitely copper sulfate is the blue color solution, light blue color solution, okay, and here you will get a blue precipitate. That I can show you through some activity, okay. Suppose this is your copper sulfate solution. I am taking some copper sulfate solution inside this test tube, okay. Here you see this one is blue color copper sulfate solution, okay. Next we will add some sodium hydroxide solution. So you have to take one sodium hydroxide bead, and if we make a solution, preparing a solution of sodium hydroxide, now this solution will add to this copper sulfate solution, okay. Here you see. So a precipitate is observed, okay, blue color precipitate, light blue color precipitate is observed, okay, that is nothing but this copper hydroxide, okay. So definitely there is some change in color also, okay. and a precipitate is also formed. Okay. And if you take that ferrous sulfate solution, if you add this sodium hydroxide solution, then you will get ferrous hydroxide precipitate. Okay, here also you will observe color change. Ferrous hydroxide will be dirty green color, dirty green. So in this way, by observing the color change, you can easily understand the chemical reaction happen and there is formation of new compound that is called product. Hope you can understand. Next we will go to the second point, that is the evolution of gas. Second one is the evolution of gas. Okay. In some chemical reaction, the one of the product may be gas. Okay. And this gas, if you are taking in the solution, there may be effervescence or bubble formation. Then you can easily understand the gas is formed. Sometimes you can also identify the gas. Suppose if you take sodium carbonate and if you are adding HCl, dilute HCl, that will produce NaCl plus water plus there will be formation of carbon dioxide gas. Now in the solution you will get some evaporations. Okay, I am showing you the sodium carbonate is with me. Here it is there. So I am taking some solid sodium carbonate. Okay, you have taken inside the test tube solid sodium carbonate, and here if we add some dilute HCl, here you see what is happening. Here you see the formation of effervescence. Okay, that is formation of bubble. Okay, gas is produced, and if you pass this gas through lime water, definitely what will happen? The lime water will turn milky. Okay, so in this way you can easily understand this is a carbon dioxide gas, but this carbon dioxide gas cannot turn KMnO4 solution colorless, that is the purple color KMnO4 solution. Okay, or cannot turn the acidified potassium dichromate solution orange to green. Okay, and that is why this is carbon dioxide. And if you take sulfide salt, suppose you are taking that Na2SO3 and if you are adding dilute HCl, then there will be formation of twice NaCl plus water plus there will be formation of sulfur dioxide gas. And carbon dioxide gas is colorless, odorless. Okay, and there is no smell. Okay, that is why it is odorless. But sulfur dioxide gas having the burning smell of sulfur, and this sulfur dioxide gas also turns lime water milky. But in this case, this sulfur dioxide gas decolorizes the KMnO4 solution. If you pass the sulfur dioxide gas through violet color KMnO4 solution or purple color, it will become colorless. And if you pass through acidified potassium dichromate solution, it will turn orange to green color. Hope you can understand. So by evolution of gas, you can understand, and there a chemical reaction happens. Okay. Next point 3 we'll discuss. Next topic is our that formation of precipitate. If you take two solution, okay, homogeneous mixture, okay, then if you add it, if there is formation of one insoluble compound, that will precipitate. Okay, and this type of reaction is called precipitation reaction. And if there is formation of precipitate, then you can say that there is some chemical reaction, definitely new compound is produced. If you take barium chloride and if you are adding sodium sulfate solution, both are solution, barium chloride solution and sodium sulfate solution, then what will happen? You will get precipitation of white precipitation of barium sulfate, and there will be formation of twice NaCl. Okay, so in this way you can easily understand, okay, there is a formation of precipitate, or you can take the another colorful precipitate, that is if you take potassium iodide solution, okay, and if you add some lead nitrate solution, then what will happen? You will get some yellow color precipitation of lead iodide, yellow, okay, and as well as you will get that potassium nitrate, this colorless solution, okay, but here you will get some yellow precipitate. And if you take silver nitrate and if you add dilute NaCl, silver nitrate solution, you are adding dilute NaCl solution, definitely there will be production of silver chloride, cardiac white PPT, okay, and this white precipitate is soluble in ammonium hydroxide. So in this way you can easily understand if there is any precipitation, okay, and that will indicate there is some reaction. Okay, I am showing that sodium chloride and silver nitrate reaction. So first I have to take some sodium chloride. Okay, now I will add some water to make a clear solution. This is a clear solution, okay. Now in this clear solution, if we add 2-3 drops of silver nitrate, this is also colorless solution. Here you see, this is colorless solution, okay. Here if we add this solution, then what you are observing? A white color precipitate is formed. This is nothing but silver chloride precipitate is formed, and this silver chloride precipitate will be soluble in excess ammonium hydroxide, okay. So this is called precipitation, okay. We can add more. Here you see. So this is the precipitate, okay. So by observing the formation of precipitate, you can understand there is some chemical reaction. A new product is formed. Next we will discuss another point, that is called change of state. Definitely in some chemical reaction, okay, there is change of state. Suppose you have a piece of paper. When you are burning, definitely in paper there is cellulose, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen is there. That will react with the oxygen present in the air and forming carbon dioxide and water, and you will get some ash. Okay, so gas is forming. So definitely from solid state it is forming that gaseous state. Okay, that is one very important. And if you take calcium carbonate, that is solid, and if you apply heat, definitely there will be formation of calcium oxide, that is solid. Okay, and there will be formation of carbon dioxide gas. Okay, so this is solid is changing into gas, and very good example we can give that hydrogen gas, okay, is reacting with oxygen gas in presence of electric arc or spark, okay, or burning. Okay, on burning it will produce what? It will produce liquid water. So here also you see gaseous state, okay, is converted to liquid state. Okay, so in this way, by change of the state, you can easily understand that there is some chemical reaction, okay, and new product is formed. Next one I will tell you about the change of smell. Definitely in chemicals, some chemical reaction, not all, okay. In some chemical reaction, you will get some strong smell of the products, okay. Suppose if you take the ferrous sulfide, FeS, and if you add dilute sulfuric acid, then what will observe? There will be formation of ferrous sulfate, okay, and H2S gas. So these H2S gas having rotten smell. So definitely from the smell you can easily understand there is formation of a new compound, and definitely there is some chemical reaction, okay. And another we can tell that if you burn sulfur in presence of oxygen only, okay, in firecrackers there is sulfur. When you are burning, you are getting the burning smell of sulfur, that is nothing but sulfur dioxide gas, okay. So in this also you will get the smell, burning smell of sulfur. So in this way also you can understand there is some chemical reaction from the smell. And another you can do that, you can take any ammonium salt, and if you add some sodium hydroxide, if you apply heat, definitely there will be formation of ammonia gas. And ammonia gas, all of you know, this is pungent smelling gas, and if you take some HCl moisturized rod, okay, then you will get some dense white fume, okay. That is another observation, okay. But from the smell you can easily understand, okay, there is some ammonia gas. So a chemical reaction happens, okay, and there is formation of new compound, okay. Next I will tell you that heat change. I think this will be the 6, okay, that heat change. Whenever you are doing some chemical reaction, two things may happen. There may be absorption of heat, the reaction mixture after reaction it may be cooled, okay, and sometimes it may be also hotted, okay, also hot, and there will be generation of heat, there will be release of heat, okay, or evolution of heat. You can think about any type of neutralization reaction. Suppose you are taking sodium hydroxide and if you are adding HCl, they will produce NaCl plus water. Definitely it is an exothermic reaction where heat will be produced. So you will not able to understand that whether sodium chloride and water is produced, okay. But if you touch the test tube, okay, definitely you will observe that there is temperature higher compared to the atmospheric temperature, okay. So whatever temperature is there, okay, that room temperature, it is higher. So from there you can understand there is a chemical reaction happens, okay, and definitely heat is evolved or produced. Or this thing also you can do if you purchase some calcium oxide, okay, that is that called that lime, okay, quick lime, and if you add some water, definitely there will be production of calcium hydroxide. And in this case what will happen, there will be generation of heat, huge amount of heat will be generated, and after some time this water will boil with a hissing sound. So here also generation of heat is indicating that there is some chemical reaction. Hope you can understand. So these characteristics of chemical reaction you have to remember. Next I will tell that in this case, that means heat change, that during a chemical reaction, if the reactants have more chemical energy, then the products form, okay, then the energy is released, or there will be formation of heat, or there may be formation of light, sometimes sound is also formed, okay. But if the reverse happens, then the heat energy will absorb and the reaction mixture will become cool, okay. So today up to this, okay, and next day we will discuss about the balancing, how to balance a chemical equation, okay. And if you have any type of question or any type of query, okay, then you can send me through your school query button, and hope all of you are giving the assessment test. If you are not giving the assessment test, I cannot give you the marks, okay. So please help me so that I can give you the marks, as well as in day by day we are taking that live classes, okay. In live classes, okay, all of you try to join, okay. And if you have any type of question, there also you can ask, or you can send your queries through the WhatsApp or school query button, okay. And in this way, this is your last chapter, that is the language of chemistry, okay, in your half yearly syllabus. And only one part is left, that is the balancing of chemical equation, and after this part we discuss different types of question answers here, okay, and we will take revision test, that means whole half yearly portion. Okay, so today up to this, and hope all of you are doing great. Thank you.